Hey up lads and lasses, it's Northern Nigel, back again to point out where Britain went wrong. Today I'm in Stoke-on-Trent, the town that gave the world pottery, Port Vale, and a reason to drive straight through the Midlands. Stoke's not so much a place as it is a cry for help with roundabouts. It's where ambition comes to sit down, light a fag and give up entirely. If towns were weather, Stoke would be that endless drizzle that soaks your socks and ruins your day. But hey, I'm here to dig deep, mainly because there's now else to do. Let's get stuck in. Stoke's got a reputation as being grim and grafting, with a generous dollop of aggression. It's like the Midlands' own Gotham City, except here, Batman wouldn't bother. If you're not making pots or fixing someone else's, you're probably stuck on the F500, wondering where it all went wrong. The locals will tell you Stoke's got soul, and they're right. It's just that most of it's been repossessed. They're proud folk though, and they've got every right to be. It's not easy carrying on when your entire cultural legacy revolves around clay and a football team that's allergic to winning. But hey, they do it with a smile, or at least a grimace that looks like one. Right, before we carry on ripping Stoke to shreds, I need a word with you lot. Have you liked this video yet? Have you subscribed? Because if you haven't, I'll find you. Turn up at your house and spend an hour just slagging off your street. And don't think I won't, it's a public service at this point. And while you're at it, stick a comment below telling me where I should go next. Whether it's a grim little village where even the sheep look depressed, or a posh town with more Range Rovers than sense, I'll be there. Go on, do it now. Give me something to look forward to, eh? Alright, back to it. Now let's talk about the people of Stoke, salt of the earth, and they've had to be. When your town's economy collapses and you're left with naught but warehouses and Weatherspoons, you learn to tough it out. They'll tell you Stoke's got culture, but most of it's painted on the side of a bus stop. That said, they're passionate about football, oatcakes, and avoiding Hanley after dark. Community spirit's alive and well, usually manifesting in the form of everyone moaning about the same pothole on Facebook. It's not high culture, but it's theirs, and they're weirdly proud of it. Tourist attractions, there's a few, but don't get too excited. First up, the pottery museums. Imagine paying good money to stare at some plates and pretend you're interested. If you're lucky, you might even get a guided tour by someone who hasn't smiled since 2003. Then there's Trentham Gardens, basically a glorified garden centre with a lake. Great if you're into overpriced coffee and ducks that'll mug you for a crust. And let's not forget Waterworld, the leisure centre that's half water park, half health risk. Stoke's idea of a thrills queuing 45 minutes for a slide that leaves your thighs red raw. Proper day out that. Now let's talk nightlife. Stoke's idea of a big night out is Hanley on a Saturday, if you're brave enough. You're not just stepping out, you're entering a survival game. First challenge, avoid the bloke outside trying to flog your aftershave that smells like petrol. Second challenge, make it to a pub that hasn't already run out of lager. The big draw's always the casino, because nothing says good times like losing your rent money next to a bloke eating chips off a napkin. The highlight of the night, getting a taxi home before you end up in a fight over who stole your vape. Entertainment, it's mostly provided by your mates having a scrap in a kebab shop at 2 AM. What about the local sites? Well, Stoke's got a look, and that look's our finished DIY project. The high street's a mix of vape shops, charity stores and takeaways with names like Pizza King that haven't ruled out since the 90s. The estates, functional if your functions despair. Front gardens come with optional broken furniture, and wheelie bins roam the streets like feral cats. Even the roundabouts look tired, and there's more of them than there are things to do. Fancy a walk in the countryside? It's scenic if you ignore the pylons, ditches and occasional pile of rubble. Stoke's not so much a place you live, it's a place you survive. So should you visit Stoke-on-Trent? Only if you're curious or lost. It's got a certain charm if your idea of charm's a Greggs next to a boarded up pub that smells like burnt air. I'll give it 6 out of 10 for effort, because they've tried, bless 'em. 3 out of 10 for excitement, it's got less buzz than a broken fridge. And a solid 8 out of 10 for survivability, because if you make it through a week in Stoke and still smile, you're built different. Stoke-on-Trent, where the clay's fired, the streets are tired and the oatcakes are Well, they're just oat cakes. Right, I'm off before someone turns my car into a planter. Don't do out daft while I'm gone, eh?